Hi, I'm Rodney Sharp, owner and president of SharpGrade International. Today we're going to talk about centre pole blades and why we don't use them. So, what is a centre pole? Well, if you have a blade with a centre pivot, you have to run a centre pole if you're sensing, because it's over the top of the pivot, which is the most accurate position for that. But unfortunately, it's the worst possible position for this side of the blade here, and we'll get to that. So, with a centre pivot, one controls your elevation and one controls your crossfall. So this one is controlling your crossfall, this one is controlling your elevation. So, what happens? Well, we want to be controlling within our 1/8 of an inch, which is 0.125. So, let's assume that we're running our, we'll talk about 2D laser. We're running our laser beam through here, okay? And this one are all reading on 0, and that's all fine. But as we start grading, we always have a tolerance on our sensors. Doesn't matter what it is. There's always a tolerance because you can never have it perfect. And normally that is plus or minus 1/8 of an inch. So in here we have got 0.25 inches, and in here 0.25 inch. Now, what happens is we can be at the top end, which is 0.25, we can be at the bottom end of this one, so this comes through here, or it can come through here. Okay, so we can have 1/2 an inch of deviation on this side of the blade and still read within tolerance on each other side. So a centre pole blade is actually a best guess blade. There's no accuracy in it at all, because this side is a combination of this and this. And we've talked earlier about how just with standard manufacturing tolerances we can have 1/2 an inch of movement in here. Well, you then double that with the accuracy in your sensors and their tolerances that you're giving. So you can have 1/2 an inch in here and 1/2 an inch here. So this blade here can actually be, this point of this blade can be up to 1 inch out and still read. Now, there is no way that a centre pole blade can grade with the accuracy that most people claim of within 1/8 of an inch. It looks like it is, but it's actually not, because of the tolerances inside your receivers or your sensors. So, next time you see a centre pole blade, think about the accuracy of this point here and whether it's actually true or not, because physically it cannot be true. It can be reading as if it is, but in actual fact it can be anywhere. So anyone that says that they're grading within 0.1 of an inch with a centre pole blade is stretching the truth, because this here is actually what they can be grading to. So I hope that portrays the problems with a centre pole blade with a combination of a centre pivot. It's totally the worst possible combination you can ever have for controlling a blade. Let's compare that to a quad rod linkage, and I can just draw it on the other side here. So with our quad rod linkages on a 96-inch blade, we would be running these at 72 inches, which is 36 inches there, 36 inches there. Okay, we run 0 clearance sphericals because we don't have to have any manufacturing tolerances to align anything, so we can run these at 0. And we have our sensors at both corners. Okay, so our sensors are at 96 inches, so that's 48, and our cylinder is at 36 inches, but it's actually off this point here. So it's 36 plus 48, which is 84, over 72, okay, which is 1.16, let's say 1.2. So if we want to grade within 0.125, we have to shift our cylinder 0.1 inches to get 0.125, and which means that because the cylinder is virtually under the sensor, there is no movement, and so our accuracy is multiplied by several times of this. So you can see why a quad rod linkage with the cylinders mounted to the outside with no cross coupling is the best system. There is nothing better in respect of controlling a blade. And a centre pole and a centre pivot is the utter worst. You cannot get anything worse than that combination. So next time you're looking at a grading box and you see anything with a centre pivot, you know that's a best guess system. They don't actually know what's going on here because of the inaccuracies in the sensor, and the tolerances that you set in the sensor means that you're guessing where you are here. Whereas a SharpGrade with quad rod linkages, the cylinder is right out there, right below the sensor, so basically it holds it super tight and super accurate. So I hope that's clarified why a quad grade linkage is so much better than a centre pivot and a centre pole. If you'd like any more information, please feel free to visit our website, www.sharpgrade.com. There you'll find links to more information and our products and our dealers. And feel free to reach out at any time, and we'd be more than happy to assist you. So thank you very much for your time.